Chapter 9: Research Designs. Introduction. The process of conceptualizing the research problem and then putting it into a structural perspective that will guide in a data collection and analysis is regarded as a research design. Research design is like the process of constructing a building. The builder did not just commence the building, the structure because he or she has the necessary materials. The builder considers the building design or plan and the foundation. Research design is the master plan specifying the method and procedures for collecting and analyzing needed information. Zygmunt, 1994. This is necessary because it ensures that the information collected are right and appropriate for solving the problem. Research designs has two major purposes under which other purposes aligns. These are 1. To provide answers to research questions, and 2. To control variance by helping the researcher to control the experimental extraneous and error variances. There are different types of design, which includes one group design, before and after one group design, two group design, and 4 group design. Objective. At the end of this lecture, students will be able to understand the different types of designs when they are applied in the course of a research and also give examples. Content. In research designs, certain symbols are identified and used. Kellinger, 1964. Figure X is assigned as the experimental manipulation of the independent variables which can have values. Thus, the value of X ranges from Xi to Xn. This symbol means that the independent variable is not manipulated or under the control of the experimental. The independent variable is represented with Y, which can have the subscript A and B. YA means before manipulation of X and YB measure after the manipulation of X. Some variables cannot be manipulated, therefore, X is used to represent such variables. While X can be manipulated but not manipulated, symbol Y is used for the random assignment of subjects to experimental groups. One group post-text only design. In this type of design, the researcher is interested in the influence of his experimental manipulation on the dependent variable. The group of subjects is given a treatment and then tested on some dependent variable. Therefore, we cannot be too certain that it was the manipulation that brought about the observed change. XY experimental, Y observed. For example, suppose you wanted to test the effectiveness of one of the motivational programs in which people attend a retreat during which they engage in several group activities, some of whom are humiliating and exhausting. To evaluate the effect of the training, you decided to survey the participants. You find out that most of the participants say that the experience was worthwhile and that they feel better about themselves than they did before the training. You had no measure of how they felt before the training. Therefore, you cannot say the current result is exclusively as a result of the training. The research design adopted is one group design. Another way of doing this type of research is for the researcher to use a questionnaire on attitude change to find out the remote cause for the change. However, this is a faulty scientific research and as such not a very good research design. Nonetheless, some research problems can only be solved using this type of research. Before and after one group design, pre-text, post-text. This is an improvement of the one group post-text only design. In this type of research design, the researcher measures the dependent variable before introducing the experimental treatment. This is to confirm if the observed change is as a result of the treatment or not. In the example of the motivational retreat study, the participant responses are measured before they attend the retreat and after the retreat. The two responses are compared after the retreat. As good as this approach might seem, we however might find it difficult to concretely say which part of the retreat actually brought about the observed behavioral change. Two-group design. An improvement on the before and after one-group design is to have two groups of participants randomly allocated to control and treat groups. One group will be exposed to the motivation treatment, while the second group, control, will not. The measure of the two groups are compared to confirm the efficiency of the treatment X. However, a limitation to this design is that the two groups may not have been matched on other possible factors that may jointly account for the observed differences. X, Y1 to Y2, Y1 to Y2. 4. Design. The four-group research design is another research design that was made popular by Solomon, 1952, by Solomon, 1940. In this design, there are four groups where two groups are exposed to two levels of a treatment, and the other two groups are the control groups which are not given the treatment. YA, XYB experimental, YA to YB control, XYB control 2 minus YB control 3. In the design, there are two pretext measures taken, one of the experiment group and the other on the control group 1 for the purpose of confirming the experimental treatment. The advantage, however, is the fact that it is possible that the subjects have a carryover of the pretest as both groups were pretested. Low eliminates such criticism. Two other forms of control groups were introduced. Control 2 has the subjects exposed to the treatment without being measured first before the actual measurement, while Control 3 did not experience both the treatment and the pretext measure. In such an experiment, any observed change or difference can be attributed to the treatment effect since all other plausible explanation has been taken care of. If the mean score of the experimental group is higher than the first control group on the dependent measure, it could be due to the sensitization to the pretest. We then have the opportunity of comparing the group which has been exposed to the treatment without pretest to confirm it could confidently attribute the difference in the dependent variable to the treatment effect. This design, though an expensive one, but it provides the advantages of greater precision from pretest scores as baseline against which to confirm the effect of the treatment and simultaneously removing interference from pretesting effects. Research designs have two major purposes under which other purpose aligns. These are to provide answers to research questions and to control variance by helping the researcher to control the experimental, extraneous, and error variances. Types of design includes one-group design before and after one-group design, two-group design, and four-group design. One-group design. In this type of design, the researcher is interested in the influence of his experimental manipulation on the dependent variable. Before and after one-group design, pretest, post-test, the researcher measures the dependent variable before introducing the experimental treatment. This is the end of Chapter 9. Thanks for listening.